Hey everybody, this is Geo Joe here today with a video tutorial on the GV Cloud solution. In today's video, I would like to discuss the regions feature within GV Cloud and how that can help you separate different locations or different customer accounts. So the regions feature can be useful in a couple different scenarios. If you are a security integrator that is making the GV Cloud account as the main account under you as the integrator, and then you're listing all of your customers in that account, so you have central viewing capabilities, you can separate your customers into regions, and that allows you to be able to break down and be able to manage those different regions, and then also give each end user the ability to log in and only see their site's cameras or access control. It really helps you to segregate it out so select users can only see select data. For an end user, if you are, say, a multi-site location, the region feature can also be useful as well, because if you create the GV Cloud account in the end user's name, you can then list all of your different sites as an individual region, add the cameras and access control points individually to those regions. And again, you can divide it out and give different users different access to those various regions. So for today's video, I'd like to just show how to create those regions and then also how to assign users access to those various regions. When you're logged into the GV Cloud webpage, the easiest way to do it is up here in the top left where you see the GeoVision icon. You can click on it and go into account management. Once you're in this page, you'll notice on the left side there's two buttons. There's the users button and then also the regions button. So if we go into regions, when you first set up your GV Cloud account, there will be one region listed here automatically, and it is called default. If you'd like, you can go ahead and reuse that region, and I'd actually recommend that you do that. You would just click on it, you'd see it say default right here. You can just highlight and rename it. And then when you hit send, it will then go ahead and add that new name to your regions list. Now, as you start to build this out and you want to add more and more regions, when you're on the regions page here, you just click the plus sign in the top left, and then you'll give that region a name. Now, again, these you can think of as the name of the customer or maybe the name of the city that that location is in. So for example, we will type in Indianapolis for this one. And then maybe we'll create a couple additional regions as well. We'll just type in here, maybe we'll do Dallas for the next one. And you can see now we have all of our regions listed here. And this really comes into play again when you're going to start adding in new hosts and new access control points and VMS systems and those kinds of things, as well as assigning users access to different regions. So if we go back into the top left and we go into Cloud VMS, now let's say later when we're going to start to add in a direct-to-cloud camera or a VMS system, this is where you go into hosts and you can click the plus sign in the top right-hand corner, and now you have a list of all those regions here. And so let's say we're going to add a VMS machine into the Dallas location. We would go right here, give it a display name, create a password for it, and hit apply. And this is how we would add a host to that new region we created. Once you get all of your devices and access control points and everything added in, the next logical step would be to go and assign operator privileges. And what that means is who gets access to what. So down here in the bottom left-hand corner, when you click on operator privileges, this left side is going to be blank initially when you first set up your GV Cloud account. You as the administrator are going to be the only person that has access to all the various sites. This page here, operator privileges, actually allows you to create new operators. And you can think of it as an operator as someone who has access to the GV Cloud site, and they can view cameras, they can manage access control, those kinds of things. So if you'd like to create a new operator, you click the plus sign right here, and it brings you to the account management page. You would just simply click the plus sign in the top right-hand corner, create user, type in their name and their email address. Optionally, you can put their phone number if you'd like to do two-factor authentication. And what will happen is once you press send, they will receive an email that they will need to click on, and that verifies their account setup. They will then get a second email that has their account number as well as a temporary password that they can use to log in to the GV Cloud website. Just as a heads up, when they first log in, they can reset their password. Down in the bottom left-hand corner, they can click on the little person icon, go into account settings, and then right here on the left under security, they can click and then they can type in their temporary password as well as create a new password right there and hit save, and then it will create that new password for them. Now, let's talk about the operator privileges tab. Once we get all of our operators in here, you have the ability to click on an operator, and as you can see, all of our regions are listed out. This is where you can now start to assign who gets access to what. So for example, I've clicked on David H right here, and I have all my regions. And let's say, for example, he is going to get access to just the California region. If I expand it, I see all of the devices that have been assigned to the California region. I can even expand these devices. And for example, on this bridge, it's got 3 cameras associated with it. Let's say that this person is going to only get access live video to channels 1 and 2. I would just simply tick channels 1 and 2 there. And let's say we want to give them playback access as well. We can tick it here in the playback column. And we don't want to give them PTZ control. Okay, so we will just leave that one blank. Okay, so that's one way that you can do it. You can assign individual camera access. Or if I go ahead and get rid of those, another option that you have is this auto button. If you enable the auto button, this is a convenient feature because if, let's say, you set up the host with maybe 4 cameras to start, and then later on down the line, you add 10 more cameras. As long as you have enabled auto, it's going to automatically give that user access to any additional cameras that you add to that host. All right, and so you do have the ability to do that. It just makes it convenient so where you don't have to go back in manually and assign those cameras to that person. Now, you can, of course, assign multiple hosts to a user, and you can also assign multiple regions to a user. So let's say that I want to give them access to the California site, as well as maybe this Texas site down here. I'll just go ahead and toggle auto for both of those regions. And then I would hit save, and that user now has access to those regions. Once they log in, they will then see the regions on the list. If you go over here to the live streaming tab, you'll see all of the different regions that that person has access to. This has been a demo tutorial on setting up regions within the GV Cloud website. For further information on our product line, please check us out at www.geovision.com.tw/US. Thanks a lot for watching.